everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. It's Tom MacDonald Tuesday, which means another reaction to Tom MacDonald. Today's reaction is going to be the official music video for Everybody Hates Me. Now, judging by the title, this is probably going to be another controversial one. Tom's probably going to be speaking truth and giving his opinions on different stuff, as always. It's one of the things I love about Tom. Whether you agree with him or not, you cannot deny the guy stands his ground and he speaks his truth, and a lot of it is brutal honesty, and he makes some really good points. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what he has for us. Here we go.
Yeah. White people hate me, they say that I'm using my privilege for evil, I get it, hey. Black people hate me, they say that I'm racist, my feelings don't match with their message, whoa. Feminists hate me because I believe that their movement is angry and sexist, woo. My girlfriend hates me and I don't know why, but I love her, whatever, forget it, yeah. And gay people hate me cause when I see something I don't like, I say that it's gay. Straight people hate me for having the balls to go say what they think, and that makes them afraid. Dumb people hate me for making the music containing the truth to expose all the ways. The government robs them, the pop culture kills them, the rappers convince them to ruin their brain. Go ahead and say all of that wild online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside, and I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I could not afford to give a if it was finance. They been hating, I think it's stupid funny. Haters, fake friends, making me stupid money. They been hating, making me famous. Keep hating, you're wasting all of your energy on me.
Oh my god, okay, sorry, I've got to give first impressions already. First of all, I'm loving what he's wearing, just all the different things he's wearing. I mean, the fact that he started it off with a balaclava which said "Make America Hate Again," that's bold. That's really bold of him, because effectively a lot of people would say that the Trump supporters, or a lot of them, sadly, they do spread a lot of hate, or Trump being president and during his campaigns and things was putting stuff out there which was making America hate people, certain people. If they didn't conform or fit into these people's standards, then that's it, you're hated, that's it, you're not normal, you're a freak, you're an outsider, you don't belong, and get out, basically. So I'm loving the fact that he actually was bold enough to wear that, because that's effectively what they're saying, you know, make America great again. It's actually make America hate again, really. Sad but true. Sorry if you don't agree with me, but I do agree with him on that, I have to say, because yeah, that's just the overall impression that I get, unfortunately. And yeah, like I say, just loving what he's wearing, just just chilling by a pool and, you know, on inflatables and things like that. He's just really not caring. Loving that hair as well, the pink really actually suits him. And also, can I just say, I mean, the lyrics are absolutely brilliant. Just the points that he's making about how, you know, everybody hates him, you know, that gay people hate him because he uses the word gay. If he doesn't like something, he says that it's gay. Straight people hate him for speaking truth and saying what they're probably really thinking but are too afraid to say, so he scares them. You know, black people don't like him because I suppose they feel, some of them feel that that he's appropriating the culture. You know, it just, wow. I mean, you know, white people hate him because he's kind of in that sort of hip hop culture, and they sort of think that he's kind of one of them, rather than one of that culture rather than a white culture. It's just absolutely crazy. And can I also say, just this chorus, absolutely brilliant, just like the sort of like sing-songy happy tune. Which is completely opposite to what he's actually rapping about or singing about. And I love the fact he's got his face like putting this crazy like manic smile bouncing over the words, so that you can actually sing along to the chorus. And it is one of those choruses and one of those tunes that it is actually, it's kind of like an it's like an earworm, like it sort of gets stuck in your head, and then that's it, you just play it over and over again. So yeah, I can imagine there's probably a lot of people after hearing this, they were probably just humming that tune in their head. Because it's obviously meant to be like a sing-along sort of thing. But yeah, so far absolutely brilliant. Yeah, some great points. I mean, in terms of sort of saying about how he uses the phrase, "Oh, that's so gay," for things that he doesn't like or whatever. I mean, that's questionable to me. I don't believe that should be bandied around. I think I said that in a previous reaction video of his, which was for politically incorrect, when, you know, he says about the word retard, how it gets sort of thrown out there if, you know, you don't agree with somebody, or if you think that what someone said is stupid, like they've given their opinion and it's stupid, and you say, "Oh, you're such a retard, you know, that's so retarded." Again, like that, I think the phrase or the word gets used way too much, and it gets used inappropriately. So as far as that goes, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that, you know, you should be throwing that word around, because I think it is kind of derogatory. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, whether you agree with him or not on certain things, and there are a few things that I haven't agreed with him on, but overall I still love him. I just love the fact that he's bold enough to speak his mind and say how he feels and speak his truth. May not be your truth, may not be your opinion, you may not agree with him, but he is honest enough to say it, and he makes some brilliant points. He really, really does. So yeah, I can imagine this probably caused a lot of controversy. This was back in 2018. So yeah, I can imagine this was a big thing. Like, there was a lot of people hating on him for these kind of songs. So far, the ones that I've reacted to are from, I think, sort of 2018, because I'm going through his discography for Tom MacDonald Tuesday in order. So these are kind of like his earlier ones. So it's kind of interesting to sort of like see the journey that he's gone on, and how his music has progressed, and whether or not, it'd be interesting to see whether or not, you know, he's actually changed any of his opinions that he had. He seems pretty confident in his opinions, so maybe not. He probably hasn't changed. He probably still holds the same viewpoints, I'm sure, but there might be some things that become apparent that he's actually changed his mind on. Who knows? I'll obviously find that out when I work my way through as I go through his songs. But yeah, so far absolutely brilliant. So let's carry on and see where else this goes, because this is certainly entertaining so far. Loving it. I love that bouncing face going across the chorus lyrics. Hilarious.
Everyone hates me for something, or makes something up when they hate me for nothing. They claim I'm a Satanist, Hitler's my cousin, I beat up a kid, I killed Bambi while hunting. Hey, I heard he's Illuminati. Hey, I heard he's related to Trump. Whoa, I heard he's reptilian probably. Hey, I heard he kills kittens for fun. All lies, all lies, all lies. Y'all fall, I rise. Yeah, y'all phony tough and I'm blowing up, and that's your fault, not mine. Yeah, everybody hates me, and I only know cause I read it. And I'd hate y'all too if that bothered me, but honestly I don't let it. Yeah, go ahead and say all of that wild online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside, and I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I could not afford to give a if it was finance.
Okay, that I don't agree with. That is cultural appropriation. The fact that, and I know he's probably just wearing it to prove a point in the video about how he seems to offend pretty much everybody from every group, but that I don't agree with, because I know full well that is appropriation. The idea that you wear a Native American headdress, that I do know from things like TikTok and Native and Indigenous people who have done videos about this and explained this whole thing. That is cultural appropriation. I know that for a fact. Because the idea of wearing a headdress if you are not of Native or Indigenous heritage, that is disrespectful, because even if you're not doing it to deliberately mock them, the idea of dressing up as like Pocahontas or as a Red Indian for fancy dress, or Halloween or anything like that, it's disrespectful to the culture, because just for the headdresses alone, the idea that those Indian chiefs, or those native chiefs, that, should I say more appropriately, those native chiefs actually earned those feathers in those headdresses that they wear. They earned their markings, their paint, whatever you want to call it. They earned their decoration. And I say decoration not in a disrespectful way. I mean, they earned that. They earned the right to wear it because of deeds that they have done, because of good that they have done, because battles that they may have fought and come through, and things that they've achieved. So if you're not of native descent, you're not of native heritage, you should not be wearing an Indian headdress. So that is a bit kind of cringy. Sorry, Tom, but yeah, I don't like that, since I know that it is cultural appropriation big time as far as native and indigenous people go. So yeah, but I mean, just looking where I paused it, just looking, I bought your album out of pity. Canada sucks just like you. Seriously, Canada's a beautiful place. I mean, really? And Canada, let's face it, I mean, it's its own country, but it is part of North America. It is still part of North America. So people that kind of separate them as if they're really that far removed, yes, they may have their own culture and their own way of doing things, and yes, they are their own country. I recognise that, so please don't get mad at me. But come on, seriously? At the same time, it is still part of like North American territory. Oh God, seriously, it's your job. I mean, really? This is just insane how the hate that he gets is just ridiculous. Okay, let's carry on and just see if I can see any more. But wow. What's this?
Haters, fake friends, making me stupid money. Baby, hating.
You smell like cheese. Like, really? You smell like cheese? I mean, oh God. Honestly, you suck as a human. You sit when you pee.
Be famous, keep hating, you're wasting all of your energy.
You're a failure. I don't think so.
I look just like enemies. Only goal is
Wow.
stopping mine. Y'all gonna need some better dreams. I've been on the grind. Looks like y'all been on your knees, talking while you're online, hating who you'll never be. Y'all are 35, acting like you're 17, working late at 9 to 5s, jealous I just rap and sleep. You're angry at your life, got a job, forgot to leave. Now you're growing older in the only town you'll ever see. They been hating, I think it's stupid funny. Haters, fake friends, making me stupid.
I'm literally jigging to this.
They been hating, making me famous. Keep hating, you're wasting all of your energy on me. They been hating, I think it's stupid funny. Haters, fake friends, making me stupid money. They been hating, making me famous. Keep hating, you're wasting all of your energy on me.
Well, that happened.
Izzy. Lift your hand up. Make a different face.
Oh God.
You said you had to light the backdrop too. Are you sure you don't want me to pull it
How
down?
many times did I say no, not yet?
Twice.
Oh my God. Imagine how funny that would be if you're literally walking past and all of a sudden you just see somebody sat randomly on their own on a bench wearing what he's wearing and wearing America, Make America Hate Again balaclava. I mean, oh my gosh, I bet that was hilarious to do. I wonder what they said to him. I'd love them to have kept that rolling just to see if they said anything to him, like, you suck kind of thing. Wow. Oh my God. No, that was absolutely brilliant. I mean, like I say, there was a couple of things that sort of were questionable, you know, personally, that I felt a little bit kind of uncomfortable with. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, he made some brilliant points about how, you know, again, you can't please everybody all of the time. There's always going to be somebody that takes your intentions the wrong way, that misinterprets what you're trying to say and what you're trying to do, that, you know, just doesn't understand sarcasm, doesn't understand humor, doesn't understand, you know, somebody playing devil's advocate, doesn't understand, you know, contradiction or anything like that. It's kind of sad because, yeah, it just sort of feels like the world's lost its sense of humor. They've lost the ability to kind of think critically, with a lot of people in the world. And yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I've said before, you know, being honest, I think, is really, really important if it's done in a constructive way, if it's done without malice or ill intention, if you're not being malicious, and you do it just because you want to try and make sense of something because that's how you feel. And, you know, if you're open-minded and you're open to having your mind changed, if you get to know something or understand it a little bit more, then that's great, to be open to having that conversation and sort of giving your point of view and saying, okay, prove me wrong, or change my mind, or make me see it another way. If you, as long as you're willing to listen, that is the important thing, because anybody's mind can be changed. Anybody can kind of, you know, have an opinion about something that is probably wrong, or quite possibly wrong. And all you have to do is just get into a conversation with somebody that's of a different mindset, of a different perspective, looking at it from a different perspective, and that gives a different opinion. And that can often just make you sit and think, providing you are open-minded enough, that can often make you sit and think, hold on a minute, I'm reevaluating everything that I ever thought. And, you know, just the whole cultural appropriation thing. There's things that I've been learning through, and let's be honest, I mean, TikTok can be a little bit crazy and a little bit too insane about certain things, but there are a lot of things that I have learned that I would never have learned in school. And I know, you know, UK education is probably very different to American education, or even over in Canada, because we don't learn about the same things, because we're kind of a different societal structure. We're kind of, you know, a different culture, to the point that we don't kind of have to necessarily think about the same sort of things. So obviously, guys, you know, you guys over in America might learn, obviously you learn about, you know, the Independence Day and the American Independence Day. Obviously it's part of your you know, whole thing, part of your country. It's a big part of your country, you know, independence from Britain. And you know, you may learn about you know, certain battles between settlers and the Native Americans. And the only trouble is, I think a lot of that history that is learned, regardless of whether it's over here or whether it's, you know, over in America, whatever history you're learning, I think a lot of it, just the school system in general, they tell a lot of lies, or they leave a lot of things out. And that is where the education system is a little bit of a failure, because they kind of gloss over the bits that people really should know about, that it is even more important to know about. Because I think if they told the truth, the whole truth in education, when they're teaching kids history, regardless of whatever that is, I think you'll find that, certainly as far as racism goes, and prejudice against, you know, minority groups or anybody, I think you would actually find that it could probably be eradicated very, very quickly, because kids would learn to think critically and think from a different perspective and view something from somebody else's point of view that they never would have thought about doing if they'd have learnt the actual truth of history. You know, why should we be glossing over all the bad bits and the bits that, you know, you kind of don't really want your kids to know? Because I guarantee, certainly as far as with regards to Black history and Native American history, from the point of view of obviously anybody viewing over in America, there is a lot of that is glossed over, that kids are not told the whole truth. And you know, I know this from people that have been on TikTok and other social media, where they've actually said, we didn't learn this in school. We learned the good bits, or the bits that seemed patriotic, and we learn a completely different side about, you know, what so and so did to us, or what that you know, indigenous tribe did to us. And yet that's probably not entirely true. There is a different side to it. You know, the truth could be that they did that for a reason. They had no other choice, because of the settlers, colonizers, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, it's very difficult. I think you have to do your own digging. You have to be prepared to do your own digging and re-educate yourself in a lot of things that you're taught at school. Take it with a pinch of salt. You know, take it on board by all means, but also do your own research, and also ask the people. That's where it's important to ask people from that culture, from that community, okay, what's your view on this? Because I've learned this in school, or I've just recently learned this. What is your take on this? And you'd probably actually get a completely different viewpoint. And it wouldn't necessarily just be the fact that it's a biased viewpoint from them. It could be that you actually get to find out the truth. It's not what they're telling you in school. It's not what you're led to believe your whole life. And that's where I think a lot of society is broken down, is there's just so many lies, and you're kind of brainwashed. It's I think Jane Elliott said, she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. She's a civil rights educator. She's absolutely awesome. She's been doing this like most of her life, you know, educating people. She used to be a school teacher, but she prefers the word educator because she wants to lead people out of ignorance, and that's what she feels an educator is. And she's been telling truth that is completely the opposite, a lot of it, to what kids learn in schools. And she herself says it's indoctrination. The education system, certainly over in America, is indoctrination. It's brainwashing on the highest level, because kids are taught this from a young age. Kids are taught to hate from a young age. So effectively, unless they're actually willing to go out on their own and educate themselves and do their own digging and find out the actual truth, or find out both sides of a story, they don't really stand a chance, because they're just surrounded by this. That it's in their schools, it's in their society when they grow up and they start going to college and university and start getting jobs, start working. They just go in with this mindset that something is one way, and it's actually probably completely different to what you thought. And I've learned personally from social media and things, even things like TikTok, as trashy as it sometimes can be. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there which you think, oh no, really, that's just too crazy. I don't believe that. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist that believes every single thing that's thrown out there. But there is a lot to be said about some conspiracy theories that actually there could be a lot of truth in them. When you stop to think, there's a lot of evidence that points to that they might actually be true. There might be some truth in it. And certainly as far as education and things, they gloss over a lot of stuff, and they miss a lot of things out because it's favourable to them, to white people, dare I say it, to make us look good and other cultures and religions and other people look bad. And it's a case of doing your own digging, I think. But anyway, back to this one. I don't want to ramble on too much. I probably have already, sorry. But Tom makes me do this. He makes me go deep with conversations and points that he makes. And it's just, it's infuriating, but I love it at the same time. But in terms of this video and the song, absolutely brilliant. I love the points that he made. And again, he's speaking his truth. And you may agree with him or you may not. It's down to opinion. Having your own opinion is very, very important. Being honest is very important, even if the truth hurts sometimes. But as long as it's done with the best of intentions, and you're not doing it maliciously to hurt somebody, or you're making sure you're, like I say, doing your own digging as well, and you're finding out the whole truth, not just partial truth, before you kind of throw these things out there, because not everything is what it seems. It's not what it seems. A lot of stuff is not what it seems. So yeah, overall loved this, loved the visuals of it, just absolutely brilliant. And even like the little like sort of bloopers at the end were pretty cool. Still can't believe that he was sitting on that bench and those people were walking past. I would love to have been just love to have seen like it keep rolling, just to see if they said anything to me or to him, or whether they thought, oh God, okay, we'll just keep walking. That guy's scary. He's wearing a Make America Great Again balaclava. We're not going near him. Let's run far away. He's a crazy one. Even though that's not what he believes. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I loved this, guys. And I'm really looking forward to getting into even more Tom MacDonald. So far, he's really impressed me. He does continue to impress me. And it seems, from what I've seen, he seems to get better and better. And like I say, I mean, so far this is just the earlier stuff from sort of 2018, but I'm really looking forward to getting into more of his discography, and eventually I will be working my way up, obviously, to his more recent stuff. I know he has released a few things recently, very recently, and I'm dying to react to them, dying to see what that's all about. But I really do still want to go ahead and just do it in order, because I have a feeling there's some things that might sort of tie into things that I probably should have done first. And, you know, I kind of like want to sort of see how he progresses as well, just see what his journey is musically and lyrically, and his mindset as well. Just see, like I say, if he's changed any of his opinions, or, you know, and that's reflected in his songs and his song lyrics as to whether he's changed his mind on things or not. So that is the reason why I'm doing it in order, because I just feel that, yeah, it's probably the right way to go. And I kind of didn't do that with NF, and perhaps I wish I kind of had done. I had a few people sort of say, oh, you should do it in order, you know, this is the order that it was released, and because some songs tie in with things that you might have seen already, but they might not make total sense unless you go back and see or listen to such and such. So I thought that because I was still quite early on and I'd only done 1 or 2 of Tom MacDonald, I thought, right, I'm going to go right back to the beginning and do it that way. So that's why I'm doing it that way, guys. So please be patient with me. I will get around to the newer stuff. And I, you know, obviously just, you know, keep throwing the requests and recommendations at me, or just giving your viewpoint on what you think is your favourite Tom MacDonald song, or what is the best one that he's done, even if it is the more recent. And eventually I will get round to seeing them all, obviously, I promise. But yeah, I loved this, guys, and I hope you did too. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can keep up with Tom MacDonald Tuesday and reactions for him every week, and reactions for other artists. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.